You want to be a well-dressed headbanger? Get a t-shirt from Metal Shop, or a hat, hoodies, shot glasses, tumblers, mugs, patches, women's tees. You'll look good like a rock star.
Hi everyone, this is KK Downing of KK's Priest, and you're watching CMS TV.
It is your classic metal show right here on your classicmetalshow.com. And the name of that band there was something I was not aware of at all. Beast in Black. That's something you know. Mm-hmm. You know Beast in Black, Chris?
I do. They're on Nuclear Blast, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's called Zod the Immortal.
Okay.
And that one going out by request to Chuck in North Carolina. And just before that, we heard something from Marcos in New Jersey. He wanted to hear Paradise Lost with Small Town Boy. Right. And we heard Queensryche there with Jet City Woman for our good friend Sal.
Okay.
We kicked off things with Racer X with One Hot Bitch for T-Cuz Bra.
That's right.
So anyway, we got out of that whack-ass segment from the last segment there. Yeah, now we're in a whole new segment. So
now we're gonna do nice radio.
Right, we're gonna do family-friendly radio.
That's right.
We're gonna do. It's 5 minutes after the hour.
What's the weather?
WCMS, and it's currently 68 degrees here in the Chicagoland area.
A little warm.
You might want to have those raincoats ready because we've got the chance of rain at 9 a.m. in the morning, a 40% chance of rain with the high of 68 degrees tomorrow. So,
so it's going to stay. This temperature is going to stay stable.
Right. So it's unseasonably warm for this time of year, and being that we are in the fall. Tomorrow is the first day of fall.
Is it? Jesus.
Yeah. We're at today because it is midnight now. So we are in the first day of fall here in the Chicagoland area. So I'm expecting the leaves to start turning brown and falling off the trees, and the squirrels gathering nuts for their winter hibernation time. So keep an eye out for them. And the woolly bear tells me it's going to be another mild winter.
Anyone that is advocating for that should be killed. Anybody that is advocating for that kind of radio should absolutely be dead.
Right.
That is terrible.
Where's Dick Goddard when you need him?
He's dead. like that kind of radio. They're both in the ground and dead.
Sure.
Well, what do you want to do here? Would you like to play a little of Tim's song, or would you like to...
Like a snippet or play or
I have the song uploaded, so I can play it. But if you play it, it fucks up.
Yeah, true. Whatever.
What do you want to do? Do you want to interview first and then play it, or play it first then interview it?
So he could tell us about the song and then play the song out of the interview.
All right. Well, he is standing by in the wings, itching to get in here. So why don't you introduce our guest?
He's shaking by in the wings.
He is. He's twitching like his handicap allows.
All right. Well, Chris and I had made the promise that we would bring this fine gentleman on the show when this song was released. It was released a week ago.
Yes.
And we always like to support the people who support us. And this longtime CMS fan and listener, for God knows what reason, stuck around with us after all these years. But we want to welcome to the Classic Metal Show in an official capacity, not as just a fan or a caller, but in an official capacity as a writer, an artist, and songster, and just a good guy in general. Our good friend TJ James.
There he is.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
There he is. Look at him. He's all green screened and everything.
Look at this guy. He's ready to go.
You got some new spectacles there, Tim?
Well, my Elton John ones haven't arrived yet, so I have to
How are you, partner?
You're not don't have you don't have any John Lennon glasses you could wear?
not well. These are the closest that I get at the moment. So there you go.
Okay. All right.
Imagine you weren't twitching. It's hard to do.
Well, I noticed that he's got the traditional Motley Crue shirt on.
Of course he does.
He's representing.
Yes, this is an old school shirt from, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. So
Look at that.
I do own probably 70 or 80 Motley Crue shirts. So
Jesus.
70 or 80.
something like that. Yeah.
Wow, you must be living the life, Tim, being able to have 80 concert shirts. Look at you.
Yeah, and the rest. Yeah.
All right, Tim. Well, the reason we are bringing you on, obviously, is because you have been hard at work trying to recover from the junk punch debacle and redeeming yourself with some new music that both Chris and I totally agree is very worthy.
Absolutely.
And impressive. I think the word is impressive. And,
might I say we applaud him, Neely, for listening and taking our advice. There we go. Absolutely. Tim, you listened, and we're glad that you listened, and you came back with a strong piece of music.
Well, there's more to it than that. There's a lot more to it.
Tell us. Yeah.
Well, okay. So, look, my last record came out just over a year ago.
Right.
And as I
that would be Junk Punch.
Yeah. Solidify. But as I always say, you know, I'm doing the best that I can with the stuff that I've got.
Right.
And so that record came out and was received the way it was received. But some people liked it, others didn't. But what's happened is I'm now working with an aria. The arias in Australia are the equivalent to like Grammy Awards and all that stuff. So I'm working with an Australian singer-songwriter named Rick Price.
Okay.
Who in Australia and I think in places like Malaysia and stuff is really well known and has had gold and platinum records in his own right. But he also produces a lot of Australian artists that are very, very successful as well. And he's an Australian singer-songwriter. He spends 3 months of the year in Australia. He's currently touring Australia. I saw him on Friday. So he spends 3 or 4 months of the year in Australia and 9 months in Nashville and works with like the creme de la creme session guys in Nashville. But, you know, this didn't just happen. This some of you may not know, and I know you commented on the photo that I looked a bit shaky in the photo, Chris. But in November of 23, I graduated from the Australian Institute of Music. I did a bachelor's degree, a diploma and bachelor's degree in composition and production, because as we all know, the whole music industry has completely changed from when I started in the early 90s, and it was all becoming about streaming and downloading, and people were making, you know, records on their laptop, and CDs weren't selling the way they used to. And so I basically went to school for 8 years to learn the best I could how to survive in the new contemporary way of doing things. Okay. So, and one of my compositions, I would basically tell anybody who would listen to me at the Australian Institute of Music, you've got to understand it's in Sydney, it's a music industry hotbed. So I was mentored by the likes of INXS's co-manager and like all kinds of people and you know, instructors and that. And I would be the student that would show up early and leave late.
Okay.
Right? And I said to anybody who would listen to me that all I wanted to do was be a professional songwriter.
Right. Were you saying something, Tim?
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys.
No, never mind, Tim. I'm making
He's
a
messing
bad
with
joke.
you. He's
Yeah,
messing.
yeah.
I'm gonna stop you here, Tim, before you go further. I want to go back a little bit
Yep.
because you kind of glazed over the Price guy, who's like a very renowned guy. How do you get to work with him? I'm sure every Australian musician wants to work with him. No.
Well, basically, what happened when I finished AIM last year, my composition one of my comp teachers, I was getting to this, one of my comp teachers from the Australian Institute of Music is a guy called Ken Francis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Ken and Rick are best friends.
Okay.
And so Rick was an artist that I grew up listening to in the early 90s, and he's actually an artist that I did a show opening up for when I was living in Canberra. And he said to the audience that night, he said, that guy Tim, he's going to be a hell of a songwriter one day. So fast forward 28, 29 years later, and Ken basically said, look, I'm going to introduce you to Rick.
Okay.
I think Rick could really help you. And so that's what he did. So we were introduced. Ken, I spoke to Rick. I sent him some material. He liked the material that he heard. And then in addition to that, I got a grant, which was called a Higher Up Impact Grant. And it's for people with disabilities for mentoring and or professional development.
Okay.
And I got that grant. And that was a $10,000 grant. And I've been working with Rick ever since.
Okay.
But now it's gone way beyond that. Now we've like become best friends, and he wants to continue to mentor and coach me and help me in any way he can. So that's where we're at.
Right on. So how do you go? Obviously, we goofed on Junk Punch or Solidify, but I mean, you and I specifically talked outside of this.
Yeah.
And you asked for real advice, and I think Neeley and I both gave you the same advice on and off air, which was do one or two songs, but do them 100% perfectly instead of doing 6, 8, 10 songs. It really feels like you took some of that to heart, because this new song, if I didn't know it was you, I would think it was coming out of Nashville. I mean, it really is very well done, very pro, very big sound. Everything about it is 1,000 times, it's 1,000 steps ahead of where you were with Solidify, yes?
I mean, 150%, because, so basically, Rick and I wrote a bunch of songs. We've written a bunch of songs. We wrote this song. He had an idea. He had an idea for a verse, like just melodic stuff, an idea for a verse and a pre-chorus. And then I wrote the chorus to the song. And then I wrote the bridge. And we did all of this on Zoom. We work on Zoom.
Okay.
And then we collaborated on the lyrics. And he produced the song and mixed and engineered the song in his studio in Nashville. And we got Sheryl Crow's drummer, Fred Eddingham, played drums on this.
Wow.
And Garth Brooks and Willie Nelson's bass player, Steve Mackey, played bass on it. And Rick played all the guitars, because Rick's a multi-instrumentalist. So
okay.
He played all the guitars and added harmonies to it, and I did the lead vocal in my studio in Sydney, or my bedroom studio in Sydney, the Junk Punch studio. and so there you have it. I mean, Rick, you see, and you guys can comment on this more than I can, but look, Rick's like, I never want you to doubt yourself as a songwriter ever
Sure.
again. He said, you can write. He said, your problem is the production, not the songs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're working on, and now we're working on trying to get more funding to keep going and do a bigger project as well. So,
are there any more songs that you're working on, or is this just the first one, or are there more in the works?
well, we wrote 3. We have another song called "Hope in My Hands," which we both really like. It's like a ballad type, Phil Collins type thing. And we have another song that Rick likes. I'm not so keen on, but hopefully, at least "Hope in My Hands." Hopefully that will come out. But you see, to do this, I mean, you guys understand this. To do this with these types of caliber of guys, it costs money.
Right.
So and it's money that I don't have. So we've got to find a way of achieving it. But the mentoring and coaching and all that stuff, that just goes on. Yeah.
Well, what in the end, Tim, and I think I've asked you this before, but I think it was not on the show. In the end, where do you want to land? Do you want to land as a singer, or do you want to land as a songwriter?
I want to land as a songwriter.
Okay.
150%. I'm not trying to be a pop star. I'm 51, and
I know you got the look.
well, we'll have to ask.
Got that nailed down.
So I was talking to one of the Jonas Brothers for a minute. Jeez.
Yeah, I just want to be a professional songwriter. I'm not interested in being a pop star or anything like that, and that's not going to happen anyway. Let's face it. Look at this head,
Right.
But that's what I want to do. I want to be the Don't Bore Us, Get to the Chorus songwriter guy. I mean, my heroes are Desmond Child and people like that, and nobody knows what those people look like. They're just behind the scenes writers.
Sure. Well, is Rick and the other people that you're working with, are they connected in that level to kind of share your music with people and actually get some feedback on it? And we're like professionals, like Gary Burr or somebody that's written 15 number one hits. Are they able to reach into those guys and say, hey, what is good about this, or what could this guy do better, and give you feedback?
Well, that's exactly why. Yes, to answer your question, the answer to that question is yes. That's exactly why we want to do a bigger project. Okay. I mean, Rick's connected. I mean, I put my songs out, I put my songs out, so I've got a body of work out there for a music publisher or publisher or these types of people to look at, right? So it's not that I think I've got the best voice in the world or anything like that, but I have to put my songs out there so that they're out there for people to hear. So yes, but Rick is absolutely trying to open up doors for me in terms of Nashville and songwriting opportunities. He's going to send this song to his publishers, but who are very well connected, but he also wants me to do a body of work with him as a one-off one-off bigger project, so that, because he's like, if you want your songs heard by the Keith Urbans and the people that you want them heard by, so hopefully they'll record them, it's got to be produced to a level that's like the nth degree. So that's exactly what we're trying to do, for this next project.
Right. Does that, I'm going to ask this, it's going to sound like a shitty question, but I'm going to ask anyway. Will that offend you if it doesn't include you as a performer?
150% no.
Okay.
As I've said, I'm mainly interested in just being a songwriter. That's my whole passion.
Okay.
I'd be quite absolutely. Let Celine Dion sing it, or let.
Well, I don't mean that. I mean the presentation that will. From what it sounds like you're saying, Rick wants to have a collection of songs that he can share with who he knows to get into Jason Aldean's hands, or whoever, and what I'm asking is, will that be offensive to you if your only contribution to it is lyrics and songwriting and hooks?
No,
Okay.
call me a hook machine.
There you go.
In fact, I'd be thrilled if that happened.
Well, I want to go back to something you kind of opened up with here, Tim. You indicated that you went to the school for 8 years. Is that the standard program, or did you just draw it out that long? Or that's a long time to go to school, 8 years. You could be a doctor by now.
Well, it just because I've got, with my cerebral palsy, I've got cognitive issues and stuff. It just takes me longer to do stuff.
All right. Well, I didn't know if that was the length of the course or if that was just
no. People can do it a lot quicker than that. I just can't.
Okay, fair enough.
So, but I also there are a lot of students there that I started in the diploma program, and then they jumped from diploma to bachelor, and I didn't do that. I did my diploma, I finished that, then I went into bachelor because, as I said, I just wanted to be in that environment for as long as I could and learn as much as I could.
Right on. Now, Tim, I know you've worked, I don't know if you still are or not, but I know in the past you've worked with Ken Tamplin, who, I see his stuff. I don't know if I only see it because I know you or if I see it because I just see it on Facebook or whatever. Are you still working with him, and was he helpful to you?
I'm not working with him, but okay. I have his vocal course, and he knows who I am. I wish I could work with him. But he, for private lessons with that guy, it's a couple of grand,
Oof.
Well, he's worth it, man. He's incredible.
You think I'm going to be honest. I've watched a ton of the videos with the girls that he has that come on and sing like Holy Diver or whatever. And I'm always like, I'm not saying that he doesn't. I'm sure he teaches more technique than voice. He teaches, sing from your diaphragm and get your breath on the in and all that other, mumbo jumbo that they teach you in school to learn how to sing. But I don't know. I've never heard anything super from him. What makes him special? What makes him good?
Have you heard him sing?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He and I want to just comment on that. I want to jump in on this real quick, Tim, and I'll let you finish up. But just from what I know about singers, either you have the ability or you don't. If you're not a singer, if you're not a natural gifted singer, do you think any amount of coaching or teaching is going to turn somebody? I am not a singer. All right. I don't think any amount of coaching or teaching will make me a good singer. Don't think it'll happen. Either you have the ability or you don't.
Well, I can only comment. I can't really comment on that. But what I can comment on is Ken started as a baritone, and now he's got a 5.5 octave range, and he's spent over $1 million on his voice, worked with the best coaches in the world.
Wow.
And he believes anybody can learn to sing. He said, if you can sing Happy Birthday, you can learn to sing. Is everybody going to go on and be Lou Gramm? No. But you can learn.
Yeah, I can imagine you could learn the basics of singing, but that isn't going to make you a good singer. Either you have the tenor in your voice. If you think about all the greater singers, especially in rock, because in my opinion, rock singers are probably the most unique in their delivery. There's people who can sing. You mentioned like a Celine Dion and people who are crooners and whatnot, but rock singers, they have a tendency to span a gamut there from the lows to the highs to the all in betweens, and they're very recognizable singers. You take a Steve Perry, you recognize that guy, or you recognize a Bruce Dickinson or a Ronnie James Dio or a Rob Halford, or, all these people are all unique in their own way and their own right, but they have a natural gift. I don't think any of them, and they all started out as young people. They didn't have Ken Tamplin to teach them how to belt out a tune. Either they had the ability or they didn't.
But a lot of them I know I'm stepping on your dick here, but
Stop stepping on my dick.
a lot of those guys, though, and we know plenty of them, that as their career has gone on, have hired vocal coaches.
Yes.
To coach them up to stay at that level or to achieve a better level. So,
And not everybody can be Vince Neil.
yeah, that's a good point, Tim. Good point. Let's hope fewer and fewer can be a Vince Neil.
And somebody like a Stephen Piercy, he's not a singer. He's sort of like a screamer. You know, he's not really a singer. But his vocal delivery fit the music that he did,
And he was unique.
That's what I'm saying. He's another unique vocalist.
I think there's a lot of singers out there, and I was the same when I was 16, 17 years old, and I was going to my first vocal coach, who was incredible in her own right. And she was actually managed by George Martin. She was managed by the Beatles producer. She was a jazz blues singer who sold millions of records, and she was teaching in Canberra. And the very first thing she said to my dad was, "If your son can't sing, I'm just going to tell him." She said, "I'm not wasting your time. I'm not wasting my time." And she used to say to me, she'd say, "Tim, you'll keep, like, you've got to understand, she's used to working with the best, jazz in the world, right?"
Sure.
So she would say to me, "Tim, your keyboard playing is shit. Your voice is good, but your songs are incredible." That's what she used to tell me. So, and I just do what I do and try to make it better. But, and I do believe I can add more range to my voice, which I'm trying to do at the moment. But, my voice is what it is. The other thing she said to me was, like, don't try to sound like anybody else. Just be you.
Right.
And that was,
and you have added range. I will say on the song "That's What Love Can Do," there's a part in it where you go real high, like you do a higher part. I never heard, and I've listened to all your other stuff, and I've never heard you hit the high note like that ever. So you have added range. I know you know that, but I mean it shows. The work shows.
Well, I just never give up. That's all.
Unless it's on Holding Still.
There's only one time that you need a good shake, and we won't go into that.
Well, I know that Jet Boy has a song about you feel the shake.
Yeah.
Do you cover that in your band, Tim?
No, I've actually I was in a covers band. I've actually left them, so I'm just only concentrating on my own stuff now.
Right. So what is the plan going forward, Tim? You're releasing the song. Is it to try and get streams? Is it to try and get noticed? What is the goal here?
Well, there's a couple of goals. First thing, we want, obviously the song's out there, and we want people to listen to it. And guys, even if you don't listen to it from me, please listen to it or buy it from. You were saying iTunes doesn't exist. iTunes still exists. You said that today. I couldn't work out what you.
Apple Music, isn't it?
Apple Music.
Yeah, but you can still buy stuff on iTunes.
Well, no, that wasn't the point. The point was that iTunes used to be like the king of download things. Everything was, go to iTunes. You don't hear anybody say go to Apple Music anymore. They go to Spotify.
Go to Spotify.
So what I'm trying to say is, it is no longer the reigning king anymore. Is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
At one point, that was the end-all be-all of places to go for podcasts and music and this, that, and the other, and it's not so much anymore.
Yeah, but what we want people to do with That's What Love Can Do is please stream it, guys, because and if not only for me, for the Cerebral Palsy Alliance, because we're donating 10% from every stream and every download to the Cerebral Palsy Alliance, and we're trying to raise money and awareness, which I will do till the cows come home. And I've done that right from my first record in 01. So that would be great. The other thing we want to do is get this song out there, and hopefully when Rick's publisher hears it, he's sending it to them in the next couple of weeks, there'll be some reaction. But also, and I'm going to shill a bit here, guys. We're looking at ways to try and raise. For me to do a bigger project with Rick and have it promoted properly. And I've never had a promotional budget in my life.
Right.
It's all been grassroots. All my record sales have all been grassroots. But we're trying to raise $25,000. So we're trying to raise.
I got that in my pocket right now.
Yeah. So, but we're trying to do that through a number of different ways. I started a GoFundMe yesterday. If anyone's interested in contributing to that, just search TJ James on GoFundMe and you'll see it. We're also trying to get some funding through arts grants, and we're also trying to look at putting some benefit shows on with the Cerebral Palsy Alliance in some New South Wales clubs. So, but whichever way it's going to come, because I'm not giving up until this happens. So, or even after it happens, I'm still not going to give up. But that's what we're trying to do, because I'm really at a crossroads here. I mean, this could really, set the rest of my life up and my career up. Not that I'm expecting to become a zillionaire through songwriting, but it will at least really give me the opportunity to have these songs put in front of the right people. And I know the AI thing, and there's the music industry's in hell at the moment.
Right.
But this is what I do, so I've still got to keep trying.
Right on. Well, the GoFundMe is now scrolling on the bottom here, so.
And I just want to remind everyone, it's 12:35 here in the Chicago area, and it's 67 degrees. All right, and back to Tim.
I will go ahead tomorrow, Tim, and I will throw together a commercial and start adding it to the episode. How long is this GoFundMe for?
It's as long as as I said, it's one of the three-pronged approach that we're taking. We don't know where the funding is going to come from.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes from, and the other thing I will say, if we get funded from another source, then everybody who contributes to the GoFundMe will get their money back. So, this is, I need to do this as a one-off. I'm not going to spend $25,000 on, or even $10,000 on every other record that I do for the rest of my life.
Sure.
But I really need to do this. I need to see this through.
Right on. Well, we'll help. Well, our fuckos that are watching should contribute $1 or $2 or $5 or whatever. I'm sure Neeley and I will both do it. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to speak for Neeley. He might hate you, really.
Yeah, because I never contribute money to it.
Yeah, Neeley never contributes to these things. No, we definitely will support this, and we'll see what we can do here.
Well, let me ask you something, Tim. Being that you do already have a body of work and songs that you've made, and a lot of these songs were written and recorded long before you got your degree and maybe understood the production of music and songwriting and things. Is there an opportunity, or obviously there is an opportunity, is there a thought process that you might go back through your litany of songs and maybe rediscover some of them and go, you know what, this one could use a rework and it could actually be a hit song?
Absolutely. My manager and I are doing that as we speak. And
I have that mind, Tim. See, I got that. I got my shit together. I get how that works.
That's what comes from being a life coach.
That's exactly right. I'm a smart son of a bitch.
Yeah. Damn straight. I mean, you've turned the CMS into a success. So
Oh, it's a success. All right.
Oh yeah.
It's a roaring success.
You're looking for 25 grand. I don't think we've made 25 grand in the history of the show.
yeah, but
It's cost me probably twice that over
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
last
say.
30 years.
well, we know what your dad thinks of the CMS. He's like, "Are you making any money on that yet?"
Yeah, exactly. I said, yeah, but Chris takes it all.
Yeah, I do. I keep every penny of it.
And that $5 I contribute every month.
right.
You must be rolling in it by now.
Oh yeah.
Damn. I live vicariously through Chris's success.
Yeah, my success. All right, 200K a year telling me about your success, about my success. Jesus.
I look at him like he's Michael J. Fox and enjoy the secret of his success.
Right. And like Michael J. Fox, Tim shakes too, just to bring it all back around.
Exactly.
Cinderella Shake Me, that was written about me.
Right, I'm sure it was.
You should have written that song, Tim. Maybe that's your real calling, is to write songs about like shaking and handicaps and stuff.
Well, I'll write anything if it's got a hook in it.
Nice. So, Tim, what kind of timeline are you on as far as working this song? Like, do you have a definitive, I'm going to work it for 6 months, or are you just going to do the day to day and see what comes out of it?
Well, obviously, we're probably going to push this for at least a year.
Okay.
We got to, you got to think long term. But so there's a couple of things going on. So I'm working on doing a bigger project with Rick. The coaching and mentoring continues ad nauseum. So that's good. And in addition to that, I'm writing with some other people that I've met through working with Rick. And hopefully some of those songs will end up on some of their projects. But also I'm writing for the next TJ James record as well.
Are you still performing too, or no?
Oh yeah. Okay. I just did you guys know this? You might have seen it on Faceplant, but I just played a show. I was named because Canberra was where I grew up, and everything started in Canberra for me. That's the capital city of Australia.
Okay.
And they had a disability expo down there, and I was named the ambassador for that expo, and I got paid more for that gig than I ever have in my entire life.
Wow.
And so apparently there's lots of people wanting me to speak at these events and do that type of thing too. So channels are opening up there as well. So
okay.
my manager Duncan Stewart's a brilliant guy, and he's just he's really good. So things are happening.
Very good. Man.
Did you attend this event as the ambassador where you dressed like Mr. Peanut with a top hat and a tuxedo jacket, a red sash, and a cane and a monocle?
Well, I can. That cover, that Elvis Presley cover for that album, 50 Million Fans Can't Be Wrong. Remember that?
Right. Yes, with the gold suit.
Yeah, I wore a gold jacket, baby.
A gold lame jacket.
That's awesome.
If it was good enough for Elvis and John Bon Jovi, it's good enough for me.
Right. Wasn't sure if he was there as the ambassador or if he just won the Pro Bowlers tour.
Yeah. It was loud. Yeah.
That's fun, man. Well, it sounds like everything's going great, man. It sounds like things are going on. I'll tell you what, man, to wrap this up, I can actually play. I threw the song into like a little quick video where I can play the song on the video, as long as you're okay with people hearing it that way.
Well, people have got to hear it. I'm happy that they hear it any way we can.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't want to take away from streams, but I want to give people at least a taste of it so that they can hear it, and then they can go and stream it. What's the best platform, if there is one, to stream it from so that you make the most money for the Cerebral Palsy Foundation?
Look, the best thing if people really want to do this, the best thing they can do is buy it on Apple.
That's what, $1?
Yeah. That would be great. But you see, people talk about streaming. People say, oh, you don't make any money from streaming, yada yada yada. But I mean, I do because I own my content.
Sure.
It's all about, you hear people like Peter Frampton going, there's no money in streaming. Well, that's because of the record deal that Peter Frampton signed, back in the 70s or something. There is money in streaming if you own your catalog,
Yeah.
And I own my catalog, so and I'm going to continue to. So,
right on. Very good.
What kind of a catalog is it, Tim? Is it a Sears catalog or what is it?
It's a junk punch catalog.
There you go. Very good. All right, Tim. Well, give everybody the plugs. Where should they go to keep up with you?
Before you do that, I gotta ask Tim a personal question.
Feel free.
Feel free.
What is it about this show that made you stick around as long as you have? How long have you been listening to us, and why have you listened to us this long?
Because you guys are real. It's.
When did you start listening to the show?
Probably. Well, I got an iPod probably in 2006.
Wow.
And I remember you guys doing a live stream. You did the show live, and I discovered you through that. I think I knew about you guys. Yeah, I knew about you guys even before that, because when I got an iPod, I discovered podcasts, but I was listening to you guys, I know, at least 18 years, at least.
Yeah.
Jeez, oh man.
I know. It's like, so what did you think? You go, these American blokes, they're pretty funny.
Well, you used to talk about bands that I loved.
Oh, okay.
So I just, and I still love the show. So.
All right. Well, fair enough. I was just curious. I mean, for you to stick around this long, we must be doing something. I don't know what it is, but.
Well, you guys put up with me too.
Look, Tim, I've told you this before, and I've said it, and I know you've heard it even when you're not on the show. You have an all-time hall pass for this show, just for the McDonald's thing.
The orange soda.
The orange soda is
orange soda.
Yelling that out in a McDonald's was one of the funniest fucking things that has ever happened on this show. And for that, you will always have an open door policy anytime you got something to promote.
I don't know if the management thought it was particularly funny on that day.
I'm sure they did not.
Yeah, welcome McDonald's, man. Take your order.
You like it? Hello, how you doing? Hand job. No, sorry, cheeseburger. Oh my god.
Wow.
What's going on there?
It's hilarious.
Have the Z's popped up in the chat yet?
I don't know. I ain't looking at the chat right now.
Who
We ain't
cares?
looking at the chat. It's true. No, but all good, man. So tell people where to go, man. Tell people where to go and keep up with you and, support what you're doing.
Buy the goddamn song for $1.
Yeah, for God's sakes, it's $1.
And it's a good song, as you'll
Well, you're
hear.
going to hear it in a minute.
Yeah.
So, tjjames.com.au. Follow me on Faceplant on TJ James Music, or just TJ James on Facebook. And, I'm still working out the Instagram thing. I'm not very good on that. I need to.
Because you have to have steady fingers on the phone.
Maybe Sal can teach you how to work the computer.
Yeah. Just on the topics today.
Yeah.
That guy. the guy called in about Van Halen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
why can't you just love it all?
No.
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 Sacrilege.
How dare you?
I even like some things from the Gary Sharon records. So.
All right, now you're getting a little crazy, Tim. Stop it.
Yeah, I hope that Best of All Worlds tour comes here because I want to go and see that. I mean, you know, people can say what they like, but Sammy Hagar can still sing.
He sounds pretty good. I mean, look, it probably will come there. Just the fact that they're, you know, that I'm honestly surprised that they're not jumping from Japan to there because that's not that far. How big of a flight is that? It's not that long. I've done it.
I've never been to Japan, so
I've done that flight. I think it's like 6 hours, 7 hours, if I'm not mistaken. It's not terribly. It's not as long as from here to Japan, that's for sure. That's a long flight.
Yeah.
But, well, good for you, man. I'm happy to see that this song is out. And, you know, we're not just saying it, as we'll prove in a minute. It's a good song, man. You did good, my friend. You did really good.
Well, you know, hopefully this will be the start of stuff.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, well, I'm going to play it here. What are you going to do, Neil? Are you going to play it up for the radio people?
Yeah, I'll just play it. I'll just play it here on my end and play out a few more songs, and then we'll come back.
All right, so there we go. So let's wrap it up. All right, so go ahead, Neely.
All right. Well, here is the new Boss Hit Bound single from our good friend Tim James, otherwise known as TJ James. You can find it on Apple Music. Go buy it from there. You can play it on Spotify if you like, which is what I'm going to do right now. And the name of the new tune is called That's What Love Can Do. So here it is. It's our own TJ James exclusively here. Where, Tim?
On the Classic Metal Show.
Life can bring you to your knees till you're begging. She's got a secret up her sleeve she ain't telling. Times of joy, times of pain, each and every single day. Love can lift you up, love can break your heart. That's what love can do. Love can fill your cup, love can tear you apart. That's what love can do. Love can light up the dark and shine on you. Lord have mercy. That's what love can do. And when your path is paved with gold, sitting pretty, so young and bold, invincible, it's your city. Step in light on your feet, platinum life on easy street. Love can make you dance, love can walk through fire. That's what love can do. Love can take that chance, love will always inspire. That's what love can do. Love can light the dark and shine on you. Lord have mercy.
All rise. The gavel is struck, and for a limited time, the Classic Metal Show is unleashing a rare collection of Judge Aiken merchandise. If you stand with the bold rulings of your favorite metal judge, now is your chance to show it off. From water bottles to t-shirts, these exclusive items won't last long. Get to cmsstore.cmspn.com and claim your Judge Aiken gear before the court is out of session. Court is adjourned.